Welcome to the Value Meta. This is a budget deck, Budget Treasure Bomb. So, how is this deck going to work? Well, we're going to weaponize treasure to win us the game. This is our mana curve here. It's a low to the ground 2 and 3 drops, nothing major. It's Gruel. So let's look at the rare and mythic breakdown. So, we are running all basic lands. We have a 4 mythic, 12 rare, 8 uncommon, and 12 common, not including 24 basic lands. So that's the split of the deck, and let's go up the curve and explain how this deck works. So we'll start with our land base, nice and simple. It's an even split between mountains and forests, 12 of each. Again, with all budget decks, if you have some of these lands already crafted or randomly pulled some in your opening packs, use them to spruce up the land base a bit, but I wouldn't waste wildcards on it. Then we'll go to the core of our deck. So how are we going to win? We have two ways. We have Biotech Specialist and Gold Rush. How do these cards win us the game? Well, Biotech Specialist is a 1/3 for Gruel that when it enters makes us a lander token, which is an artifact we can sack for 2 to get us a basic land. This also though has the ability that whenever we sacrifice an artifact, it deals 2 damage to an opponent. So if we have, say, 5 or 6 treasures on the battlefield, that translates to 10 or 12 damage to an opponent. Obviously, if we have multiple of these, it's absolutely crazy. Our other effect is a interesting pump spell. It is 2 mana for an instant called Gold Rush. And it's simple. We make a treasure token, and until the end of turn, one creature gets +2/+2 for each treasure we control. So this can very easily be +6, +8, or something absolutely insane. For example, if you have 2 Gold Rushes in your hand and cast them with no treasure on the battlefield, you're going to give an opponent a card +6/+6 and make some treasures to use later. So it's a fun spell. This was inspired by a deck I played against. So how are we going to make treasures? Well, we have multiple ways. So our early drops, we have a Courier's Briefcase, which is a treasure that we can sack. Also, we can just use it to get a bunch of draw, make us a 1/1, which is a nice little creature we can pump with the Gold Rush if we have to. We have the Piggy Bank, which is a good rated 2 mana creature that when it dies will make us a treasure token. And we have the Fable of the Mirror Breaker, which will make us a 2/2 that on attack will make us a treasure, then loot, then flip into the Reflections of Kiki-Jiki, which we can then use to copy other effects that make us treasures. With that though, we do have some sub payoffs here. We have Captain Lannery Storm. This is a 3 mana 2/3 haste that when it attacks we make a treasure token, and whenever we sack a treasure it gets +1/+0 until the end of turn. So you can see we can probably pump Captain Lannery using Gold Rush to make treasure, then sack the treasures to pump Lannery even more. And our other big game is Goldvein Hydra. So this is green and X to make a 0/0 Hydra. It has Vigilant, Trample, and Haste, and will enter with X 1/1 counters on it. And when this creature dies, we will make that many tapped treasure tokens equal to its power. So the idea is if we have multiple Hydras, we can feed into them. So if we have a 5/5 and then it dies, we'd have enough mana to make a 10/10. But also, it's a trampler that if we can throw a Gold Rush onto it, could be absolutely insane. But incidentally as well, it just makes us treasure for the other effects that care about the treasures. And finally, just for simple things, we have a Llanowar Elves to ramp us a little bit, and a Strangle to just do damage. So that's the deck tech. It's a nice simple deck. We're going to try and see if we can win some games in best of 1. Let's roll. Treasure Bomb here. So we have our first opening hand, which is pretty good, so we'll just play a simple forest and pass. I like playing the forest first to bait people, because if we play red, they're going to assume we're burn. Let's see what they do there. Oh, it's a human deck. Interesting. So let's open with a Biotech. Make our lander token. Double Biotech here means our treasures are huge damage if we get to them. Finn the Fangbearer. That's pretty scary. So, with that in mind, I'm going to actually make the Fable first. We can go double next turn, Biotech and Courier's Briefcase, and make us a treasure very easily. So we just got to see what our opponent is up to. Also, it's a human deck, so I'm expecting a Thalia. There's a Lauren. Takes out the Fable, which is fair. Third Biotech. Wow, this is going to be crazy. So, with that in mind, I'm actually going to make the Hydra here, I think. Or do I wait? No, I'm going to wait to make more treasure. I'm going to attack with the Goblin. Right, they trade. Sorry, they don't trade. They take it out with the Death Toucher. So now let's use the Hydra. Sacrificing the treasure to make it a 4/4. I should have done this probably before combat, but I wanted it to be a 4/4 to bait blocking here. They play another land. So this is... Oh, Isaka got a retreat. Right, so this is 5-color legendary humans. This is a really cool deck. So now all their stuff taps for mana. So they could very easily cast some more creatures. Right, they're making a blue. Rona, yep, so that's part of the combo here. So we have to make sure Rona does not sit around. We drew the Strangle, which is pretty rough. So Goldvein Hydra can go in. They take the damage there. Right, we have to take out Rona here, because Rona untaps with each legendary spell, so she's basically a super mana dork in this scenario. But also, one of the scariest things is, if they play Retraction Helix Mox Amber, that's just infinite cast, infinite mana, and we would be so dead. So let's just see what happens here. Hope Estein. Alright, so this does just seem to be 5-color legendary humans. Okay, so we're going to pass the turn here. That's perfect. So, into combat, attack with the Goldvein Hydra. They let that go. Okay, so now if we cast this Biotech, we actually have lethal here. Because we sack both the Landers and the Courier's Briefcase here. The issue is they could respond here, so we've got to make sure they don't do anything too crazy. So, Lowen draws us a Llanowar Elves. You might say this might be a bit slow, but I want to make sure that we're not just dead to sudden crazy stuff. So in the end step, I'm going to just let it go. I'm going to play another Biotech here. I'm assuming they might have like an Aven Interrupter or some kind of crazy thing here. I'm just not sure what they're doing. Right, Finn blocks there. So the Goldvein Hydra will die. We'll do 1 damage over the top. So now, even if they do manage to make any treasure here, I think we can just win. So, pop the Lander token. That will do 6 damage to them. And then we can pop the Courier's Briefcase and the Lander to make them dead. And they concede. Yep, they saw the writing on the wall. Good game, good start. Alright, second game here, up against white. This hand is missing red, but we have tons of ways to make treasure, so I'm going to keep it. Also, the Courier's Briefcase can make it. Alright, we have a Izzet deck. So this is the Izzet Shredder. So this is Izzet, this is definitely the Izzet Phoenix. So let's make a token and pass back. There's a second Ledger Shredder. There's the Fiery Impulse, as expected. I don't actually think we loot anything here. Oh, we do. We do the Couriers and the land. Finds us a second Hydra, so let's make a free Hydra. Attack in. Well, we can't attack in, but we'll hold back. We need to get through as much as possible. They're checking the graveyard, so that leads to me that they have the Treasure Cruise. They've made that land drop though. Oh no, just another Ledger Shredder. We're down to 16. Flip in Fable of the Mirrorbreaker. Play a land. Gonna attack in with the free, see if they want to trade. Nope, they're going down to 15. Let's make it another Hydra here. Make it a 4/4. So, with Trample and Gold Rush here, this could be absolutely crazy. Particularly if they kill one of our Bane Hydras. We've just got to hope they don't kill... Well, if they kill both, we could actually kill them with just a Llanowar Elves getting through. Oh, they tap out for a Treasure Cruise. Oh, that's rough. Shocking a land, Sleight of Hand, trigger all their Ledger Shredders. there's a Cutter, there's a Phoenix, but they only cast 2 spells. So are they going in? They attack with 2, leaving 1 back to block. There's another land. So let's go to combat, full swing. Let's see how they block. They block the 1 Hydra. So let's Gold Rush the first one. That's not being blocked. Yep, I'm just gonna have to give it. I think this is Exactsies because I'm doing the maths here. This is +6/+6. So then Gold Rush again, giving it 10/10, and that's exactly enough damage to kill them. Here's a triple Ledger Shredder trigger, but I don't think they have any 0 mana spells or ways to sort this out. So there's Exactsie 10 damage. Nice. Double Gold Rush wins it. Match 2 here. And this is an earlier game, so we're still playing the Gold Hound and the Biotech. Not Biotech, sorry, the Invasion of Argamon. But I wanted to show this as a way you can just still, you're not tied intrinsically to this list. If you have stuff that makes treasures that you want to try, use it. So opponent is on blue-black, and there's a Gold Rush. So first, I'm going to play the Invasion of Argamon, because that will make us a treasure. Why won't that bar go away? There we go. So 2 mana, a Moon Shadow. Ooh, so this is like a Gruul deck. So with that in mind, I'm going to play the Gold Hound. So this was another replacement effect we had for making treasures here. It was just something we could sack. Alright, there's a Fatal Push. I was looking at Gold Rush, but Gold Rush can't do anything about this, so we'll pass back. Stitcher's Supplier. They mill 1 permanent, so they lose a Moon Shadow counter. Swing in for 2. Our turn. Right. I'm going to start with a Captain Lannery Storm. Move to combat. They go for the Fatal Push. Misplay on their part. This is a free drop. They should have done that after combat. So they'll block with Stitcher's Supplier. They'll mill free. Get a Moon Shadow increase. Get another Moon Shadow increase. So it's a 4/4 now. Does Machines comes down. So I think we actually have lethal here. Alright, so Moon Shadow is going to come off and become a 6/6. And they have a tap land, so that's perfect. So they now have a full Moon Shadow on turn 3. Very impressive. However, let's show them how impressive we can be. I'm going to play the Courier's Briefcase here. Actually, I'm looking at my options. So, this is actually going to be insane. So, Biotech first actually is better. Makes us a land a token. Move to combat. Attack with Lannery Storm, attacking them directly. That will make us a treasure. So now we Gold Rush. Sacking a treasure, which will also increase and do 2 damage. Lannery Storm goes up, is now 9. So now we'll crack the lander token, because Lannery doesn't care how you sack the treasures or what for. That will deal them 6 damage, pumping Lannery to an 11. So we did over 20 damage here. Damn, that was impressive for the deck. Alright, good game.